Like, I got sacked from 6 jobs in 6 months before I started video.
Downloading them, I put them into an editor program like Premiere, Final Cut.
So you can go frame by frame.
Frame by frame, looking at what you'd done, and then I would then try and recreate that. And yeah, that's how I started. But yeah, just everything you do, content, job, strategy, everything you do. Cheers.
I have not done that in years.
Well, you can do it again because I'll have one. So when you're ready, I'll have that one. Oh no, have you just drank out of
Yeah.
Go on, do it again. No one likes Desperados like that.
Yeah, they do, man. Everyone loves them. How can you not like Desperados?
What's got tequila in for the start?
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, bro, come on. Oh,
Shouldn't be doing that. There we go.
Would have been nice to have the disc in, but anyway.
No, why is this? Cheers to the first podcast.
Is it the third?
First.
Oh,
So
first.
technically, though, this is the second recording, but it's going to be the actual first one going out, mate. So
this is going up before James.
Yeah, this will be the first one out.
Mad.
So, yeah,
okay,
man.
sweet.
Yeah. Nervous?
Yeah.
I'm more nervous, so don't worry about that at all. But yeah. Anyway, what's up, guys? Welcome to the EGGPlosive Podcast. I didn't tell him the name of it, so this is the first ever episode. And yeah, let's get straight into it. My name is Reese, EV Pro, and this week I'm joined by a good friend of mine, absolute idiot, but he knows a thing or two about cameras, social media. Big it up for Mr. DanielTKinder.
Yeah, man.
How are you, man? You good?
I'm good, you know. I'm good. This has been a long time waiting.
I know.
Like, I'm nervous, but I'm like, yeah, this is going to be exciting. Do you know what I mean? Like,
We've got lots to talk about. Lots to talk about as well. But let's jump straight in. People who don't know who you are and, you know, sort of what you're about and what you do, give us a little rundown. Who are you? What's your name? And what do you do?
So my name is Daniel Thomas Kinder, DanielTKinder, Gucci Daniels.
Man like Gucci.
Yeah, all these. I am basically part of the James Hype team. I am essentially video guy, tour manager, media manager, creative director, all this crazy stuff. And started out in clubs, wanted to be a DJ, moved along, realised everyone wants to be a DJ, so started doing handing out flyers. From handing out flyers, you know, done really well, become a club promoter. Done really well, went into DJing for a little bit and then thought, nah, scrap this, it's too easy. Not that actually it wasn't too easy, music wasn't like my life. Do you know, like I enjoyed music, but it wasn't my life. And then from there I met James in clubs. We become really good friends because we're just both real. We don't lie to each other, we don't fake, we're just real. And then essentially James got signed, record deal. James said, yo, move to London, come and do video, come and do media, because I've always dabbled in Photoshop since I was about 14. And yeah, from there I've just learnt my way through doing everything I can, and since moving to London I've worked with big people, big profiles, and I've executed some viral content and had some big deals. So yeah, and then I met you, and then you're like, nah, honestly, right, let me just explain this for everyone.
I'm worried now what
how I become
say.
to know of Reese EV Pro is, I remember I was on tour with James. I've been on tour for about 2-3 months, and the role working with James, it was basically just like hold the camera, press record.
Yeah.
So there was no skill involved. It was just a case of we document it and we put it out, and you know, it isn't fancy. It's just bang, it gets the job done. And over the year I've learned more and whatever. But I remember we were in a hotel room, I think we were in Scotland, in Doubletree, and I was just browsing Facebook, whatever, in the hotel room, and I come across a club video, and James seen this club video over my shoulder and he went, "That's EV Pro video." And I was like, "What's EV Pro? Like, what is it a setting? Is it like a production company? Is it what? Like, is it a trailer? Is it a new movie?" And he's like, no, like EV Pro, he does all the best club videos. And I was like, okay, so who is he? And he's like, oh, it's just like this guy. And basically, if you're a club and you want club videos at the best level, this is the guy. And I was like, so how do you know it's him? And he was like, the color grade. He's always got this sort of blue level, and it's always just crisp.
My blue tints.
Yeah, man. And he was like, and you can just tell. And I was like, okay. And then I basically went all over your videos, all the way back through. You know what I started doing? Any that I really liked. Because remember, I didn't have much knowledge either. So I started downloading them. I put them into an editor program like Premiere, Final Cut.
So you can go frame by frame.
Frame by frame, looking at what you'd done. And then I would then try and recreate that, and yeah, that's how I started video. Yeah,
because I'm trying to think first time we knew about each other. Well, it was definitely through Insta, and then it must have been the first time we properly met was the Create Meetup.
Yeah, I mean, from that
which
moment,
is over a year ago now. Can you believe? It's like
well from that moment when James like mentioned you and you come into my sort of. Yeah. You know, acknowledgement. I was like, right, I need to pester this guy. I need to become his friend.
You never pestered, like, man. You never pestered at all.
Like, if you post, I'm like, bang, put a like, put a comment. Just show love.
Just interacting with
yeah. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so and now here we are. Do you know what I mean? Like, not even blowing smoke up your ass. Like, you are.
No, I appreciate it, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Looking as well how you started when you first off, you take stuff on so quickly and learn like so quick, but like. You're like naturally very determined to do it as well. Like,
for me, so,
you always want to grow like yourself and grow further like as yourself.
I think for me, what I bring to James's team the best is I can always be self-critical. I can always say, no, this is not good, or I can say, well, you know what, this person's done better. Do you know? I can always look at someone else and say that's better than what I've done. Of course. And also, it's just the fact that. You know, James got the record deal. His profile blew up, and I got into this place where the content that I put out, it would generate huge amounts of interaction and growth, and so you then realize like, shit, this has got to get better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got to keep looking, and then while I was dealing with James, I also took on YouTuber Ryan Taylor, and again
I was literally about to lead into that, so like but you've just mentioned it there, like go into a little bit more in depth sort of how that come to be and what you actually, because unless people know you, like even I didn't find out till the last few months ago that you did this, like
so basically I was just eager, you know. I was just, and I was running before I could even walk, so I found this guy Ryan Taylor, viral YouTube star, and he kept putting out that he wanted a video editor, and I was like, I'm not good enough, but I'm going to keep messaging, I'm going to keep talking to him and whatever. And about 3 months went by and he's still looking for a video editor, and at the time I never had any content that would display my work for him or what I could do to him. So I said, listen, send me over your latest vlog tomorrow and I'll edit it. And he's like, but what if you don't get it done, or what if it's not good enough? And he didn't know that I can't really edit video at this point.
Right, yeah. Okay.
So I was just like, I was bluffing it, and I was like, look, you do your edit still. Like, you still do your video edit as you would, but send me the footage as well. And then you will have a direct comparison as to what I would do and what you would do. I was like, all right, cool. He didn't end up sending the footage. So what I had to do is I had to actually download his vlog, finished vlog, and I had to try and make an edit from it.
Oh, mate.
So how do you edit a finished video? Like, it's already got the best clips, it's already got a color grade, it's already got sound effects in. And basically what I done is I looked at his brand and emphasized everything on it. So he's about going crazy and being wild and all that.
30 fam, innit?
Yeah, 30 fam. So I just exaggerated everything around that. And bear in mind at the time, for say 10 years I dabbled in Photoshop, dabbled in Illustrator, dabbled in these programs, great. But then I started doing video. Now, it was only in September that I started working on iMovie this last year. Started working in iMovie. I'm like, oh, this is very limiting. Then I moved to Final Cut about a month later.
Work your way up, didn't you, through the different levels of program.
Final Cut for me, I felt like it was limiting. I just didn't get it. It was very blocky.
I learned actually when I was in college, we learned on Final Cut, and then I got out of college, had it installed on my MacBook, and very, very quickly like realised this is just slow. It's just not how... Well, I didn't know better, but I felt like, no, there has to be some easier program out here for this. And this was before Final Cut. I think Final Cut Pro X had just come out. So that's now classed as Final Cut Pro. But before that, it was like it's like Final Cut 7. Yeah, mate, it's so grey. Everything's clunky. The renders. I remember I switched to like Premiere Pro on a club edit, and I was like, okay, well, I have to learn how to do this because his edit's got to be done. Yeah. And that was the best way I did. Jumped in the deep end, and within like a half hour, an hour, I was like, why have I waited this long to change? Like, everything is just so much. And that was like a while ago. Premiere, they're always updating when it's not crashing.
Oh, mate.
When it's not crashing, it's alright.
But yeah, just to round that up. So I had Ryan Taylor, I had James Hype. Both huge brands. We're talking massive followings. Like whatever they put out, it's doing interaction. And they've both got timescales where they got to work to. Ryan Taylor is YouTuber. He's got to have his video out by 8 PM every day. I'm trying to learn a new effect. I'm like downloading your video, trying to learn an effect, and I've got to get it edited and get it back to Ryan for 7 PM. Bear in mind, he's only sent me the footage about 2 PM.
I was going to say,
every day, do you know what I mean? And you're editing like 8 hours worth of footage. So what I was doing is I was literally paying my way to success. I was finding every preset I could. Every single creative who's ever given presets away or allowed to buy them, I bought them all, and I was just piling it all on and then coming back to it and learning how to do it myself. And that's how I really built and ended up on these big profiles, where I realised that if you can't work and you can't keep up to speed, you become this tunnel and everything stops at you. Like people can't put stuff out if you don't create it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I realised, and that's the bit that I enjoy, but it's like sometimes it can become a tunnel neck.
I think you've touched on it there about like social media and stuff like that. I think so. Obviously, about you helping to grow their social medias, I think you have a much better understanding than even I'm aware of. I know one thing you've mentioned before about like posting Instagram stories every 3 hours so you stay in the top feed. It's all stuff that's just, when you think about it, it's common sense, because the people who interact with your page the most will, if you post something, you're naturally going to go to the top, and of course you need to stay at the top. It's like if you go gym, you only stay the same size and fitness because you constantly go. It's not, and it's a bit like branding with Coca-Cola and other things. They're not selling you a Coca-Cola, they're basically doing branding just to remind you that, you know, we're here. Oh, you want a can of Coke? Oh, you want Coke? It's what sort of, like, have you got any tips for stuff that you've done that you've bought over that most people wouldn't realise? Like, basically give us all the juicy tips.
Jesus, man, everything on social media. Well, Instagram's obviously where everyone's at. Start to finish, Instagram's where everyone is. One thing I'd say is the strategy. You know, this is one thing I realised working with Ryan. Ryan, as a YouTuber, never had strategy. So he'd edit a video and then he'd just put it up, and then he'd say on his story like, oh yeah, the video's out, and he'd just record the screen. And I was like, no. I was like, let's work with this. You've done the edit. It's not going to take too long now to do a story edit. You know what I mean? And it's a swipe up, and you know, you're using the clickbait, you're cutting fast. So yeah, just stuff like that, and that's more so adding value and strategy as a content creator to a brand. He valued that. In terms of the actual Instagram stories, in Instagram as a whole, secrets, posting to Instagram stories every 3 hours is this isn't something I figured out. This is something Gary Vee said. And basically, every time you post a story, great, you're the first icon on top of that Instagram. Great. 2 hours later, an hour later, other people have posted, and you move down the line.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So if you then post again in another 3 hours, you then go back to the top. And you just constantly keep moving to the front.
So it's like a constant feed, basically. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And because it's Instagram, you can just put up stuff like nice photos. You can put up, you know, you can almost get into this point of view where media and content doesn't have a time restriction on it. Do you know what I mean? So if you look at James Hype's Instagram stories, we'll post every 3 to 4 hours. But it'll be a picture that when he was in Switzerland, and then it'll be a picture when he was in Dubai, and then it'll be video content from when he was in France, and it's not constrained to a location or a date. It's highlights and it's flashes, and it's just keeping, as you said, it's keeping everyone fresh of what is happening, what is going on. The other thing is with Instagram, what else? Oh, I've never told you this, but this is a rule that we stick by. And Instagram stories as a whole is 15 seconds long.
Yeah.
As a general rule of thumb, I would post the stories to Instagram as 10 seconds. Just because it's quicker. Yeah, like 15 seconds, it seems a bit long. 10 seconds, there's less chance people are going to swipe. It makes you, as a content creator, just sort of break down what's essential and what needs to be in that content. Do you know what I mean? We've also found that we'll only do 3 consecutive clips of the same content. Do you know what I mean? So if it was like this conversation, you'd have 3 10-second clips of like the conversation, and then you'd have to have something else, otherwise it just gets boring.
I found recently with a lot of anyone who follows me on Instagram at EGGPlosive get that plug in. Anyone who follows me on Instagram recently, we've now been posting a lot of like my behind the scenes content, and I've noticed that when I get to the sort of like that third posting, I'm losing like at least a good 40% traction of what I'd normally get. And I think it's just because people, as you say, people have seen it, they're used to it. Yeah. Like the boxing videos. So I think I put one up, put the second one up, put the third one up the other day. People are like, yeah, we've seen it now. It's sort of...
That was a great video, by the way.
Cheers, thank you. I've got the grading tutorial coming out next week. Because everyone's like, how did you grade that? Did you just give me the LUT, give me the LUT? It's like... It's not, you don't just throw a LUT on. You throw the LUT on and adjust it. All it is like shadows and contrast and a little bit of sharpening, but and like the curve. But man, I've recorded that. That's all. That was meant to go out today. It was meant to go out today, but we're actually filming this on a Thursday. So by the time this is out, it will already be out. But
that I can't lie. When I seen that, I was like, this looks so.
The first one. Where the guy who's just knocked the other guy out and jumps on the...
It's just, you know what it is? What I remember about that colour grade is, to me, it just... When I watch that boxing sort of vibe, it's like... It's very moist in the air. It's very like sweaty. It's very you can see the tension.
No, I love it.
Felt like that's what you could see in colour grade.
Do you know what? Do you know what does that? Is having the I know the guys who rig that all. And the lighting, with any boxing match, they put lights in every corner. So like they're perfectly lit from every angle. So when they're facing you, they're exposed correctly. But then they've also got this like amazing like edge light. And that's why like there's that bit where he like jumps in front because of the angle. I'm on the floor. If you haven't seen the clip, basically some guys just knock someone out. He turns around, runs to the other corner of the ring, jumps on the ropes, jumps off, all in slow motion, but his head like blocks out the light on one of it, and you just see that white ring light around him, and I'm like, yes, that's a shot. That's
the money shot, man.
That's the money shot.
So I just want to ask you, with that edit, because when I see this, I'm like, I really want to see what this edit's going to be. Are you posting that edit?
Yes, it is. I'm completing it tomorrow, actually. So it'll be, once it all gets signed off, hopefully it'll be out before Christmas. But
what sort of edit is that going to be?
That is a promo edit, so you're probably looking at around 90 seconds plus an Instagram version. So it's for them to help. Are we going to see like
the whole typical boxing like punch with a it's heavy like sound effect?
No, because it's put to music. But we've used Kanye West songs for like the last 3 years I've done the event. And obviously, good old copyright is kicking in now. But we're using the Creed track, the trailer from the soundtrack from the new Creed film. No, yeah, in terms of tingles and the thing, that is something that I like. The butterflies, I don't get that often anymore. There's not many shows I get it on, but when I do, I'm like, oh shit, like, you know, you just think like, oh my word, like this is crazy. Like, you just have that feeling. I mean, one of the times was Nathan's show last year, but I think it's as well with like my friends. So obviously where my career has grown, I feel like, so it's weird. So obviously I met James first time was in Malia.
Yeah.
Back when he was just just before he dropped Hotline Bling remix. So he hadn't fully blown.
Yeah.
Same time I met Nathan, and now even Danny, like, and everyone's sort of grown together. So like we've all like got sick achievements like, all together, and it's like, you know, Nathan had his show, and while we were doing the show I was like, yeah, this is going to be sick. And it was only when we finished that show that I was like just high on adrenaline. I was like, oh my god, we've done it, like we've fucking done it, mate. Like, and I think it was just with the fact that because we're like the young bucks, we're coming, you know, we do all this shit by ourselves, you know. A lot of times we've all been told you can't do it, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, and we're all just breaking the mold and being like, nah, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna take it to a level that people have never seen it before.
I think there's like a small group, and as you said, it's pretty much that group of people that literally don't take no for an answer, question why, and willing to take a few risks. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely.
This is one thing that me and James always talk about, is taking a risk, and if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But if you don't take a risk, then you're never really going to level up. Do you know what I mean? So, and obviously, like when you're a professional like yourself, or like me or James or any of these guys, you know, Nathan as well, Nathan's team, the risk you always take, it's always a calculated risk. You always know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it does go wrong, then you can usually
I think
fix it.
I've said it a lot, is that if it is all to fail, then like just sod it, innit? Go back to 9 to 5. Like if it ever was, that's always been like, since I decided to take excuse me, all of this full time, was my fault. In the, like, I remember the summer. So basically, people who don't know, I was working abroad doing videography in the party resort of Malia, and working in JD part time back home. So working away for summer, and I just woke up one day and I was like, sod this, I ain't going back to that job. Like, it's not happening. I'm just gonna try and network as much as I can, you know, hustle it. This was before I knew about Gary Vee. Just, you know, hustling it, just try and make it. And if it does fail, then cool, I'll just go get a normal job again. And luckily 3-4 years later, I'm still here. We're doing all right. The train it's slowed down at times, but
so it's going to slow down though.
Yeah, it's interesting as well at the minute, because where, you know, I've smashed it as a freelancer. Then obviously I tried the creative agency, that didn't work out, which a lot of people probably don't know because I've never really said it publicly, but like, yeah, it didn't work. Like, we tried to start a business, we tried to take what I did and put it to scale, and it just didn't work.
Can I just put this to you? Why do you think that didn't work?
Because I feel the way it's sort of a good and a bad, is that a lot of my clients become my friends. Obviously there's some clients that you just stay strictly clients with, but prime example, you know, James and you, like Nathan, Danny, Joel, Ash.
I think this
like
is the key.
All these people.
This is the key to success now, though, and I think it's why a lot of brands are failing, is having that empathy and having that thing of knowing where the information or the content is coming from. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So even though I do all James hype content, while James spends 12 hours a day in a studio on a Mac on a keyboard making music, and it's me actually spending 12 hours a day on content while he spends 12 hours a day on music. At every point he watches what's going out, he's aware of everything that's going out, and me as a content creator, I try and stay silent or just not known. So then what I'm trying to say is when you're a brand or you're a company, I feel like you lose that personal touch. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, I see what you mean. And I think for me as well, it was just the way, you know, obviously when you're a freelancer, you have a lot of freedom. But
someone recently said, like, one of the reasons why MTV hasn't done well, for example, is because you don't know where the message is coming from. Like, if MTV were to put content out or they do a show, you don't know what that is meant to mean or how truthful it is or whether it's real. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Whereas if someone, let's say Joey Essex puts content out tomorrow, you know a lot more about that content because you know his persona. He's one person, he puts out his brand, so you can trust it a lot more than a massive media company who are just literally throwing money at anything, you know?
No, definitely. Yeah, I think it's for me anyway, I just found that the path I wanted to go down, you know, I was very determined at the start of it, but then I realised, you know, it's not really what I wanted to do. I wasn't as happy in it. I didn't like having the freedom where, you know, now I'm really trying to push just to work with artists and on big festivals, you know, and hopefully with some of the clients I've got now, hopefully that's a potential thing that can lead down, you know. I mean, I'd love to try the whole touring thing, you know, like just be like, okay, we're going on tour for like the next 4, 5, 6 weeks and, you know, just create content all the time, as in like a bit like how when we've done like the little mini tour trips where, and I've done them before, like 2 or 3 days, and that you're always capturing content, so it's not like Reece, you're only working till these hours. No, like you're a whole team, you're a whole one, you're all like lots of moving parts to make one big machine. So it's like, say you're walking somewhere, you could be walking out the hotel and you'd be like, yo, wait a sec, this, like, you need some good lifestyle pics for Instagram. Let's just quickly grab a few photos while you walk. Just always have the camera on you ready. I love that sort of stuff. It's something I really want to delve into a little bit more, and hopefully I can. It's you know, it's sort of what you guys do.
What we do now.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because when we work with Andrea a lot, AA Vision. Work with Beluga quite a bit, and it's funny because when we bring on new photographers, they'll arrive, cameras in the bag, and we're like, right, get your camera out, and they'll get it out, and they'll think they're like starting the shoot then, and it ends in like an hour or two, and so we'll do a couple of pictures in a hotel lobby, or we'll do it like, you know, on the road outside before we get in a tour van, and then they'll go to put the camera away, and we're like, don't put the camera away. I'm like, why? And I'm like,
it's a 24/7
because this is
thing,
just a 24/7 rolling thing. It's like,
don't want to miss anything at all.
Exactly.
Ever.
And I'm just like, I'm not asking you to constantly shoot. I'm not asking you to shoot for an hour. I'm not asking you to shoot for 7 hours. I'm just like, keep the camera out. When it's right, when you feel like, bang, there's a photo, there's a moment, get the picture. And the thing is with us, we don't wait around. We don't stop and take a pose. It's just, you've got to be ready with that camera.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Especially when a lot of the time for us as well on tour, your plane's late, you arrive in one destination, you're running half an hour behind, you're going to be late for the set, we haven't got time to stop, strike a pose, take a photo.
Get your camera out, put it away, you just got to be always ready.
So yeah, man. And you know, that's another good point that we look at regularly with like Instagram and stuff, is what's more powerful, photo or video. Do you know, like when you're working on that 24/7 content creation, documenting a tour, a life, what is more valuable? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, another tip for Instagram as well, before I stop, is always try and post more than one photo to a post.
So like the carousels?
Yeah, always.
What's the reasoning behind that? Because I felt they did less.
Do you genuinely not know this?
No, I'm guessing
you genuinely don't know. No, I've not told you this.
No, I'm guessing because it makes people swipe, therefore keeping them on the content longer. Or
basically, if I was to go on Instagram now and I'm scrolling down and I see your boxing content, BTS, your BTS, and I don't like it and I don't interact with it and I keep scrolling, close Instagram. When I come back to Instagram later, Instagram will show me slide B, slide C, or slide D.
I've noticed. So that's the reason why I keep, I'm seeing people's stuff and
you'll see it again.
And I'm seeing their second photo and I'm like, wait, why am I seeing their second photo and not their first?
Instagram will show you the A, and if they don't interact with it, it's like, okay, cool, we'll wait. And when they close the phone, when they close Instagram,
I'm loving me.
They will
I had
then
no idea on this.
Open Instagram again. Instagram will show them it for the second time on a second go round on an A, B, or C slide. And this is something that I've been aware of for the past year, something that we work towards all the time. But even now, even though I'm aware of it, I still fall for it. Like, if someone's posted,
you naturally, because the little dots are so small, you don't even.
Yeah. So when I see a new post, I'm like, wow, what's this? Like, and also it looks familiar a lot of the time, so it looks nice to the eye. Do you know what I mean? So looks familiar because I've already seen a similar photo or a similar piece of content, but I'm now on a different slide. So I do take a second to then look at it, and then I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. Instagram
draws you in. It's them little things, isn't it? So I've noticed it as well, like just using on my stories, using like the little GIFs, mate. Just it's something. If it's a still image, add a GIF on it. Like gets people interacting with it a bit more. And
what else, man?
You guys probably see it on a much larger scale. I obviously see it on a smaller scale because of the amount of views and sort of followers. But
the main thing for the Instagram stories, look, if I post to James's story once for the whole day, we'll do 500, 400 views. If I post every 3 hours to 4 hours, James is looking at doing about 3,500 to 4,000 views per day on a story.
Yeah, because it's weird. Some days I'll get 1,500 views, and then there'll be some days I'll get like, as you said, like 500. Like, this is weird. Why am I getting what's making that drop so much?
Well, the other thing we do is we pretty much write off social media on a weekend.
Yeah,
we don't post. You gotta think about it. If everyone is going out to work Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, they're doing their jobs, they worked all week, and now they'll go out, they'll buy a nice outfit, and then they'll go out to town.
You're not on your phone, even when I think about it. I mean, maybe with the exception of Sunday evening, I think
it's opposite.
See, I get some good traction on Sunday evening.
No, Sunday's good, but Friday, Saturday.
Oh, dead. Don't touch it.
Like,
I don't know put stuff up on a Thursday.
I don't know about for you, but for us, our Instagram statistics say Friday, Saturday is the best day for us when everyone's online. However, everyone's online, everyone's posting, everyone's out on a Saturday drunk, everyone's at the hairdressers getting hair done, everyone's out with the boys. So you're competing with the whole world to try and post on a Friday, Saturday night. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And so we just write off Friday, Saturday. Well, unless it's a gold moment, a gold piece of content, we'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll wait till the Sunday, or we'll wait till Monday to post content, because your content is just wasted in a motorway of traffic. Yeah,
I found for me, Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays are sort of my best day. Sort of, I normally put a post on Sunday, give it a sponsorship for 2 days, 1 day. I'm still trial and error in lots of stuff, but Mondays are quite good, I found as well. Best thing for me.
Another thing is, what time do you post?
8 PM. I know, I need to hit them morning ones, don't I? I need to hit the 8 AMs.
Nah, I think
to
me 8 AM's too early, but anywhere between 12 midday and 4 PM, because a lot of content creators, a lot of brands, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of businesses, just anyone who's doing anything creative, posting social media, 6 PM till 8 PM, it's this golden hour when they're all posting. I know so many creators who are posting 6 till 8 PM at this time every day, 8 PM at this time every day, 6 PM. And literally, it seems like at least 50% of the world's creative industry is posting between 6 PM and 8 PM around the world. So when that time zone is that time in LA or whatever, they're also doing it.
Yeah.
So for me and for James, we tend to post between 12 midday and about 4 PM. It just allows it to get onto the platform, get some organic, and then hopefully it's already sort of moved,
got some traction,
got traction. So then by the time everyone else jumps on at 6 p.m, we're already flowing, and we're already. I see what you mean, do you know what I mean? Because that's when it's busy. But hopefully the algorithm would look at it and go, well, nah, this has been doing well for a while. Do you know what I mean?
That's a very.
Honestly, like, bro, think about any content creator. 6 till 8 p.m. they're all posting, or like 6 till 10 p.m. they're all posting. It's crazy.
Sweet. Well, I've got a couple of questions now with you for the last part of the podcast.
Yeah, sure.
What would you say? What would you say you're in the business for? Like, what's your drive each day?
I'm in the business for success. It doesn't look. I work with James.
Financial, like yourself, success, or just in general,
just success. And when I say success, I just mean breaking rules, breaking any level of accolade that's been set, breaking any rule that someone said that can't be done. And don't get me wrong, I'm best friends with James. James is family to me. He's my brother. He's my best friend. He's everything. But whoever I work for, I just come with this energy. And don't get me wrong, I've lost a lot of jobs for it. I've lost a lot of work for it. You know, I've had people saying, look, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll walk away. Like, I'm not going to stay in a job.
Yeah, you pride yourself on it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to do average. I'm here to be the best. Do you know what I mean? And
you're only ever as good as your last job as well.
Exactly, man. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, it's... okay, so I remember I used to do for about 7 months before I moved to London. I was doing marketing and graphic design and all this stuff for a guy who owns a few bars in Liverpool, and he owns about 9 bars in Liverpool. And I already worked for him in my younger years, and then I went back to him just before I moved to London for about 7 months. So he's like, yeah, come back, whatever. And he grew as a business, as a man. And so he says, right, I'm going to give you these 2 bars, manage them, market them, social media, all that. And I was like, cool. And I goes in, and I'm like, all right, getting used to it all. And I just used to get bored. So I'd leave, and go home, and go to bed, or go and have shisha. And then one of the managers come up and say, well, you're contracted to do 40 hours, but you've only done 18. I was like... yeah, I'm not. And he's like, well, you got to do 40. And I was like, but if I can get that work done in 18, then I'm going to go home for the rest. And he's like, no, you can't. And I'm like, why not? And he's like, no, you can't. I was like, all right, cool. So next week, right, there'll be people who know this, like they were there. I was like, right, done the work I need to do. Done it in about 25 hours this week, something like that. And just every day, because I couldn't leave the office, I just used to go sleep at my desk. I literally just used to put my head on the desk. That's like me when I worked at RBS, but I just used to do it anyway. And then he walks in and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I've done my work. And he's like, no. And basically, he couldn't sack me because I had the best results.
You're still doing the work.
As far as social media went, I had the best interaction. I was doing 100,000 views on a viral piece of content for them. Do you know what I mean? Bear in mind, all their other posts, they were bars, so they were just posting like, oh, £1 shots tonight, you know, and they weren't doing good traction.
Yeah.
And then I'd come in and I'd think totally differently, and I'd do 100,000 views on a video, or I'd do 1,000 likes, and then you were like, well, we can't sack them.
You can't,
like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually I left that. Do you know what I mean? And so yeah, for me, I just look at it as in terms of the success is not necessarily about money. It's just about the success. Like when I work with James, or when I work with any business, I put the logo first. I put the brand first. And by doing that, I literally, 6 months ago, I was discussing with James, look, because at the time I was tour manager for James, I was video guy for James, I was graphic designer for James, I was everything. And we were doing heavy touring. We were doing 3-4 months non-stop straight. We had about 6 weeks where we done about 14 flights, 12 flights a week, some days 3 flights a day. On top of that, we land anywhere, I got to do content. You know, while we're on a plane, got to do content.
Literally editing on planes. I sort of like it though because you no distractions.
Bro, like, I'm a bigger guy. I can't edit on a plane. I'm a bigger guy.
Oh man.
But yeah, and so I just sat down to James and I said, look, where we're at, you either need to get a tour manager or you need to get a video guy. And I was like, I don't mind you picking which one I do or which one we bring in. And I said, you know what, to be honest, I really don't mind you bringing in 2 new people and me looking for somewhere else if that becomes the case.
Yeah.
And by doing that, it allowed us to have a conversation that really took us somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? It allowed me to then look at what I was doing in the team and start upgrading cameras, and because now I weren't just like a video guy.
You haven't got 100 tasks to look after.
Do you know what I mean? So then
15,
recently we've started investing in cameras and lenses and all this stuff because now I do video. Do you know what I mean? And James knows it's 150% real, honest, sincere work where you're not. All I can say is, if you ever work for someone or you work in-house for a brand or you're ever given creative advice to someone else, always do it with the brand at the forefront of everything. Do you know what I mean? So even when a business comes to me and a business is like, oh, we need this, we need that, if you can't do that service, don't bullshit or don't say you can do it or whatever. Just be real and say, this is where it's at. Recommend someone, say this is why, whatever.
Be honest, be upfront.
Be honest, and you will do better out of it. When they need something you can do, they'll come back and they'll be like, oh, that guy is a sick guy, he's genuine and he knows what he's doing. Yeah,
because I found as well sometimes where you sort of promise clients the world and then you can't deliver and then you look terrible. Like let's say like I started to try and move into animation, logo animation. Someone client the other day was like, oh, this is sick what you've done on this, can you do this, this and this on an animation? It's like, no, look, I can still only do the basics. I'll do what I can, but I'm telling you now, like, don't expect this level because it's not going to be that. So yeah, I think being upfront with them, just honest, it's like comes under empathy, honesty, and then I've realized as well, like, just you just got to be honest more, because then you have like no worry. Like if people like challenge it, you'll be like, yo, it's the truth.
No, definitely, man. Definitely.
And they're like, yeah, but what? I've said the truth. Like, and that can be resulted to any scenario. Like if you just tell the truth more, it's like we have nothing to worry about. And it's a really weird thing. I got it off the Gary Vee thing. He's like, just tell the truth all the time, like as much as you can. Like, and you then use even like simple stuff. Like,
honestly, I've lost so many relationships. I've lost so many working positions just off being so truthful. Like, I just always tell the truth, even if it's gonna hurt someone.
Conscious clear though, doesn't it?
It does. It just keeps me clear, and it just like there's only a set few people I'll go to for advice or criticism, and that's James, Naomi, and more recently you. But James knows when I go to him for advice, I just want the bare honest truth. Like if something is awful, just say it is.
I'm the same.
Awful.
I'd rather people just be straight. Don't sugarcoat it.
Like,
just tell me straight.
Even though he's a friend, I'm just like, what good are you doing telling me it's good when it's not?
It's not, because then like, you're not going to level up.
It's not worth it, man. But another thing I'll say about, like, you mentioned empathy, is regularly I'll actually Google certain words, and empathy is one of them. I reckon in the past year I've probably Googled the definition of empathy at least
That's listening
5
to
or
Gary
6
Vee,
times.
Mate. That's what's doing that for you.
Nah, just because we all know the word empathy and we all know what it means, and I'm sure for a lot of the time we get it mixed up with sympathy or other things.
You say that though, I think it's one of the ones you think you know what it means, but how many people actually know what it means?
Up until a year ago, I wouldn't have known what it meant. To be honest,
I probably couldn't give you an exact definition now.
To me,
I just sort of know rough. It's weird. It's a weird one.
To me, sympathy is feeling sorry for someone. Empathy is understanding where they are and coming from. Could be totally wrong. Nah, but that's my understanding of it. And I like even other words like charismatic or confidence, or just all these words. Think of all these words that you'd want someone to describe you by, or words that you would want to live life like, like characteristics that you'd want. And when you Google them, Google will give you a definition that is just teetotal, clear, no bullshit. Like, this is the definition of that word. So as I say, like, at least once a week, I'll Google a different word, and it sounds stupid and it sounds simple, but for me, every couple of weeks, I say I'll Google certain words, certain phrases, and I just like to try and just like keep trying to remind myself of what I need to do or what I need to be. Yeah. And just by Googling those words, it really defines it.
No, really definitely. If you constantly see something, it's reminding yourself, isn't it? Yeah. So,
but okay, put it this way, and then we'll finish. If I said to you, describe yourself, then you'll say, I'm empathetic, I'm confident, I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. But if you think about all those words, they all have a description within them.
I see what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once you actually look at each word and you go, what does that actually mean? Like, that is like just
what does
the
it
word
mean to you as well as a person?
Yeah. So okay, so once you look at that word confidence, and you actually look at a definition, that is a real description of someone, rather than just saying I'm confident or he's confident. Yeah. That definition is actually a really good description. So yeah, man, that's something that I do anyway for self-belief and just what's it called, like building yourself, self-help.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the word now. I know what you mean though. Yeah, no, definitely. You're 100% onto something there. Just building on yourself. Self-development, that's the word. Self-development, that's the word.
That is the one.
But no, I think before we sort of wrap off the podcast, we've had loads of good points there, and I'm sure we can go on for even longer, and we'll do another one of these in the future, definitely. Where do you want to see yourself, not in 10 years, not in 5 years, but say, how do you see the next 18 months for you?
18 months, I see going, well, as we've discussed a lot of it's on the Instagram stories. I'd say we'll do thousands of views a day on the Instagram stories. I know I keep talking about it, but again, Cardi B released a screenshot of one of her stories. So I think she was doing, what was it, like 8 million views on a story.
It's mad, isn't
but then
it?
she's doing 1 million likes on a photo post, or do you know what I mean? So the stories are more. I know for me,
I've noticed that 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So for us, I'm looking at how we then get better definition, better quality story content. The issue is obviously when you're recording the story content, if you turn your camera that way, you're then pretty much losing everything.
You're locked to it, aren't you? You're locked to that ratio. Unless you move 4K, I guess you got a bit more room, but even still, it's not native. Yeah.
So I'm considering going to like 4K quality to then crop in. Do you know what I mean? Past year, for speed, we've actually recorded at about 720. Like the lowest level of HD we can do.
Your stuff looks good as well, man. It looks clear.
Oh, we both know what that is. We both know what that is.
No, way before that preset. But
nah, it's just
everyone's now like, what is this preset they're on about? It's like you're the only person I've ever given presets to ever.
You know what?
It's a golden. Don't even say what it is, because it's the golden little egg.
But again, this is like anything else. I googled it and it is out there.
Oh yeah, all you have to do is Google it.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised more people haven't found it, considering it's an option in the other Adobe programs.
Yeah.
But
honestly, it's just I think maybe when you get to certain amount of subscribers or something, you should
just give it away.
Man, honestly,
because the thing is, and you'll notice that using that, if you just throw that preset on, it doesn't work that great. You have to adjust
Yeah.
set the different levels for it and all this. Everyone's going to be thinking, what on earth is this preset?
That preset is the best thing I've ever used ever. But
It's crazy,
I mean,
innit? It's mad.
Yeah. So that preset is the one. But for me, 18 months, concentrate on the content. I'm awful at still images photography, so I probably need to
Join the
get
club,
a certain level.
Join the club, man.
You can still take a photo. Do you know what I mean? For me, I'm just like, I just do not do photo. Like, I don't do it. You know.
That's why I got the 6D, because I can't. There's the Sony A7S. Don't worry, it's fantastic for video, but God, shit for stills. It crashes every 10 photos. Like, the software is not bad, and the good. And we all know I'm a manual focus guy when it comes to video.
Yeah.
I don't use autofocus. But you can't do that on photos, man. Not on the stuff we're doing when I'm shooting a bit like AA and like Beluga and all that. And you need that quick focus, that move, boom, focus, take photo. So you got to be quick. So that's why I got that. So all my lenses are Canon. 6D, nice full frame camera. And mate, some of the images out of it already. I just throw the nifty 50 on it, mate. I love it. I got back focus set up. Just run around, focus, boom, take photo, boom, focus, photo.
Oh man,
I can't wait till summer's when I'm going to get the most use out of it.
That's the next lens I think we're probably going to get is a 50mm. Because right now we got the 18 to 35 on your recommendation.
Yeah,
banging lens.
Well, I've got the 18 to 35 doesn't leave my camera normally, and then I've got a 135mm vintage lens 2.8. I got for like 20 quid on eBay. Like,
Jesus,
mate, them vintage lenses on eBay are the one. And then I've got a Canon 20mm, which is quite nice. But I sort of want. Do I go back to a fisheye? I sort of want it just to have it, because I think it can be quite a nice effect. No one's doing it at the minute, really.
Recently, I've started exploring the possibility of these super wide lenses without the distortion.
A bit like the 14mm Sigma. It's not
I've seen two.
Samyang do one.
YC done.
I've got a Samyang.
YC done a video. I think it was a 7.5mm with no distortion.
Jeez.
I'm sure
That's
it was a
pricey.
It's about this big.
Yeah, like
as like a lens.
Yeah.
But it was really good. I seen a few people talking about that. So I was looking at that. No distortion, but ridiculously wide. And a 12mm as well with no distortion.
Mad.
So we're looking at that stuff. But yeah, 50mm is probably the one we're gonna get.
Nifty
next.
50, mate. 50 quid.
Well, we're still running on the top end camera you can get before you go to full frame. So we're on the A6 500. And that puts us around about 75, I think it is.
Cool.
Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So yeah. Next 18 months though is obviously the video stuff, the photography, and you know what I really want to do? I really want to do just video editing. I would actually like, if it happened, if I left James, I would love to just do freelance video editing.
Really, that's interesting, because not many people like the editing. Well, some people like the editing side, some people don't. I'm a bit like one of them. I love to hate it, or isn't it in that I actually love the editing. I just hate the time it takes, and I do it quick. I mean, I'll do a club video now in 3 hours, and it's like,
I'm not quick with editing,
but
I enjoy it.
But it's got to the stage where I'm just, it's saying that if it's a challenging project, I'll be sometimes 8-9 hours. Sometimes spend 3-4 hours just on the audio bed. But no, yeah, I think it's just.
So does a documentary not interest you?
It does. It's because I like creating the story sort of thing. I don't know. I'm sort of in a bit of a limbo at the minute. I don't know where I want to go, what I want to do. I'm a bit. After I've just finished that last big shoot, it's like, don't really know what way, sort of, just don't really know what path, but I'm sort of liking that. So obviously, I go away on holiday, that will let me reset. And last year,
where you going?
Where you going? I'm going to Bali and Philippines.
Bali!
If Emirates eventually drop the price of their flights. No, we're booking the flights tomorrow. Airbnbs are all booked. It's crazy, man. You can do villa. Oh, excuse me. You can do villa life for like £30 a night.
Really?
Yeah, man. Mate, it's good. You can get like, yeah. It works out brilliant out there. But no, so I always come back from there and I'm really motivated and good. And I haven't got many gigs in. I've got a few gigs in. But before you know it, I'm wait till the beginning of Feb. And then, so I've got a few gigs in February, couple in March. Hopefully, I get to go back to Miami Music Week and do that again. If you do that, then you get into April. April's your Easters. You got like 2 bank holidays. Or you got at least one or two, something like that. And then your May summer. May start of summer. And then June, we're rolling, mate. And then July, mate, that's it. We're peak summer at that stage. So
basically a year gone already.
It's crazy, man. It's going quick.
What I know this is turning into a bit of back reversal, but these are just questions. Like when we're chatting, I just want to ask you them.
Far away.
What
we got time?
What motivates you? What pushes you?
What motivates me?
Yeah.
Shit. Good question. I think just putting out the best work I can. I generally enjoy filmmaking.
Do you ever have a moment where like you get down or you just can't be arsed getting out of bed? Been full of them.
Yeah,
you're tired and you've been working on an edit for a long time. Because
ultimately, I think I'm not doing the work I really want to do because I'm full time. Because this is obviously I'm freelance.
Yeah.
It's, you do jobs you don't. It's not you don't want to do them. That's the wrong word. But you don't have the same. Charisma is the wrong word. Same energy. Like you just you still do it to the best you can. But it's like, yeah, cool, done, signed off, on to the next one, sort of thing. Where you get some jobs like when I did Miami Music Week last year, and like the artist I was with, it was just I was really like, okay, I have got here, and I said to them like, what do you guys want? They gave me a little brief, and they're like, now you have full creative control, and I'm like this is perfect. Like I'm in Miami, like do everything you've ever wanted to do, and I wanted to create just a really different piece, which I sort of did. It was a bit of mini document. It was a weird thing, and obviously Miami Music Week's held to Ultra, so you got all the obviously like the after movies, and I spent like a whole morning just down on Miami Beach, like getting shots of like the police cars, the people on bikes, the Lambos, like Ocean Drive. Like, mate, can you? I had booked.
I can already picture this in my head.
I had booked a open door helicopter ride. Like, cost $250. I paid for it out my own money because I wanted that video to be the best. And yeah, excuse me. Unfortunately, they all got cancelled. All the open air door flights got grounded a week before I went, and there was a big accident in New York. So the company that runs them pulled them all. I was like, oh man, can you imagine that like aerial footage on the sunset as well? It was booked for. But
Jesus,
yeah, I think what drives me, I don't know. I just always want to create good content. I guess I feel like.
But do you have like a mechanism, or do you have something that you can go to motivate you?
Not necessarily. Just being successful, I guess, but being financially stable, I guess, as well. Like, there's been times. There's been times in this last year where I haven't been, let's say, that well off financially. Like, I've been in.
That's part of the hustle.
Some deep fucking shit where I'm like, I'm not gonna get out of this, and then it's like no, come on, like, but that's I guess that's not necessarily what motivates you. I don't know. I want to go out. I just want to go out and just create. I want people to be proud of it and people to have like goosebumps. So there's some videos I do it where when I'm editing it and I'm like, get the shiver down my spine. I'm like, oh my god, that right there is sick. And it's a bit like what we said earlier. Like, I wonder if other people get that, and I want to create that for other people. And I used to see it every time when you watch like the after movies of Ultra, and you just be like, oh my word.
Your MK video in Dublin, I've watched that at least 6-7 times.
I love that.
I get shivers after. And so for me,
that was one of the ones I was editing it, because I'll tell you one thing, most people probably think I'm lying on this. All that live audio in that is all 100% raw. So the clip where the people are screaming, the girls are screaming, you've got the crowd are screaming, people are singing along to the song. If you saw my Instagram stories from the day, you'll know I was telling the truth. 9,000-10,000 people all singing in perfect time, mate. It was, and I got in the editing suite and I was like, oh my word, like this is
oh man.
But yeah, I don't. There's lots of things. There's not one thing that drives me. No, I'll tell you actually, I've always felt as well. This is gonna sound so big headed, but always felt like I'm meant for more. As in, not just and this is nothing.
Yeah, but this is part of your process, though.
This is nothing against people who have like normal 9-to-5 jobs, but like I got sacked from 6 jobs in 6 months before I started video, like in my transition period. So like I know I'm not made for an office job, and I feel like this just brings out the best in me. Like I am my best person when I'm doing this work, and people who knew me, say in school, will know I don't really talk to anyone from school, but I had such a big transition period, and I felt I was always like hold down, like something was locking me down. I wasn't able to be myself. When I eventually left sixth form and went college, it was like a fresh start. I could be who I wanted to be, and that was like the new start. It was like a new life for me. And like I was doing video, I was doing what I wanted to. Like I completed my course like 3-4 months early and got distinction.
Yeah,
because I was doing it part time as well.
Do you know what? I didn't even know that was possible. You know.
Yeah.
To like finish a course early.
Yeah, because it was all coursework, and it wasn't exams. It was a diploma. I just did it so I had a bit of theory. It wasn't. So I still had some knowledge of how the industry worked, and if I didn't do that, I wouldn't know about treatments, proposals, storyboards. Everything else I learned through YouTube. But yeah, I guess, I don't know, I've always felt like, and I think that sort of transponds with clients as well. Like I don't just want the best for me, I want the best for them. And like,
you never drink with clients, do you? You never drink with clients.
I can't believe I said that. So my long story short, anyone who doesn't know this, so obviously I've known Dan, James and all that for quite a few years now. And I had an interview go out that I did with someone in Ibiza. Big up Lydia.
I've still got this video on my phone, on my Mac. James has got it on his phone.
The interview went out that week, was it, or the Sunday?
No, are you messing? So basically,
you got PG as well.
You got so we seen you. I think it was on a Saturday night in Leeds.
So Saturday. So I'd finished filming a Bass Jam in Manchester with Nathan. We just left. He had a gig in Leeds Prism. He was like, anyone who doesn't know, I lived in Leeds for like a year and a half. So like a lot of my boys up there, I know all the staff up there. I work at the club that James and Danny are playing at. So we finished one gig
this night,
dropped the stuff at the hotel, go to meet them boys, and it went
stop making excuses, man. Stop making excuses.
It went sideways very quickly.
Basically, yeah, James is DJing in club. I'm running the media, whatever. Few guys down there. Anyway, Danny T comes through, Nathan comes through, and a very merry Reese EV Pro comes through. We're like,
at least I'm a happy drunk. I'm happy drunk.
No, you are. You're a lovely drunk, apart from pour some vodka down my neck, but completely sober, and I don't like vodka. But you know, we're like, oh yeah, this is cool, whatever. Reese has had a drink. We all let our hair down, and then we're back in the tour bus on the way back to London. We then see a video on social media of Reese rolling around on the floor, literally rotten, like proper rolling around all over the floor, right next to a bin. Can't stand up. Danny
This wasn't outside, but just to add some context to it, this is a club that I used to work in. All my mates used to work in, so I know all the stuff.
Club's shut.
The club's shut. This isn't in public. Like everyone's bottling up. We're just chatting with the staff, like, you know, as you do at the end of the night, sort of thing.
And then basically, so this happens while we're on the way back to London. We see it on Instagram, and then
who put it up?
So that was all 5 a.m. or something. I think I seen it on Danny T's story.
Yeah,
and then but someone else filmed it. So I think Nathan filmed it. Went on Danny T's story. And that's where I seen it. And then we all go to sleep, wake up about 1 p.m. So this is less than 12 hours later, 1 p.m. An interview drops with Reese saying, I take work very seriously. I'll never drink with my clients because I'm very professional.
And this guy turned me into a meme.
Mate,
literally.
because obviously, like, long Saturday night, like, we went from London to Leeds and back, and you made me drink vodka. So, like, next day I wake up, I'm like, right, step in the office. And I'm like, this interview, Reese is up, I'll just watch it and like sort of just
that was
chill out.
Deep in the interview as well.
Nah, it was
mate, deep.
It was about
40-minute interview
minutes.
And it was deep.
Yeah. It was about 18 to 20 minutes in, maybe 23 minutes in, if I remember rightly. I remember seeing it, and I just couldn't believe when I seen you just say it like so serious as well. Like, no, I would never do that. I would never drink with clients. No, I understand being professional.
You're all like my best. You're my mates though, so it was different, and I wasn't working. So
yeah, and then it wasn't.
Can I just say that is I don't get paralytic very often. Hardly at all. I try very hardly not to. I don't really drink. For the most part, to be honest, I don't drink that often.
For the most part, you are very.
And that one night, it's the bottles, man. When it's free pour, it just does me over.
There's been so many times I've been out working in a club. We end up at the same club. You're filming someone else.
Free pour will put you on a level so quickly to the point you can't even see where the bloody level is. You've just gone.
There has been many times we've been drinking and you're there and we're like, Reese, are you drinking that? And you're like, no, I gotta shoot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, Reese, just drink. And you're professional. You're like, no, I'm getting off to the whatever. Yeah. I got this, I got that, I got shoot. And I'm like, Reese is professional.
That time in Ibiza, you try and make me miss my flight in Ibiza.
Do you remember that?
I didn't know the guys are basically. I was filming an artist at Ushuaia, and we've come off stage, and as we've come off, you guys have come on, and I'm like, damn it. And I've been 4 days in Ibiza at this point, like getting tired, sort of getting ready to go home, and we're all working, and we get back into Ushuaia Green Room, and big up anyone who's been in that Ushuaia Green Room knows that it's a sucker. Once you get pulled into that green room, like it's got decks in there, sounds just like you're not getting out.
They have a big TV screen,
Reese,
so
come
you can
DC10, come DC10. I'm like, no, I'm not coming out. It's not happening. Mate. I still went out that night as well.
Did you?
We went to Ithaca and Lineker's because I knew people who worked there.
Mate,
there was no way. I had a flight. I had like a midday flight. There's
definitely a different type of vibe between nights out.
Oh yeah, but that's the good thing about Ibiza, man. You can have a chilled one, you can go full ham and not sleep. But anyway, I think we've delved into a lot of subjects here. Thank you there for outing me as well about my lovely drunken auntie. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, Reese is just a pisshead now. I'm not, honestly. I don't drink that often.
For the past week, I was like, right, am I going to mention this? And I was like, no,
done me dirty,
I can't. Now, you know what? For the past God knows how many months it's been there, I've been like, I really want to post this. I really want to post this. Honestly, like, because you know what? James is on date night with his girl as well. When that interview come
when it drops,
and then he walks in. This is like 4 hours later, and I'm like, what's this? And he's like, what is it? And I'm like, shows him the video Danny T put up just to make sure he'd seen it.
Yeah.
And he remembered it because it's the next day.
Context.
And then I showed him this interview, and he burst out laughing.
Mate, I did. I laughed for about 5 minutes straight. I sent it to everyone. I put it in all the group chats.
Mate, unbelievable.
Anyway, we need to wrap there, but just quickly before we wrap it off, this is your chance. Plug anything you want. What's your socials? What's your ats? What's your Facebook? Your Twitter? Your Instagrams? Your Snapchats? If you still use it.
People still use Snapchat. I never really warmed to Snapchat, you know.
But yeah, far away, man. What's your plugs?
You know what I will say before we finish. Snapchat is a breeding ground for me. Sounds very wrong, doesn't it? But I have about 500, 300 kids on it, like sort of like 15 up to 30-year-olds, and I'll just sort of sit there a lot of the time and watch what they do. Do you know what I mean? Like
Gary Vee says he does that as well, doesn't he? Like you just see how they're moving, what sort of stuff they're doing.
Honestly, man, like even this TikTok, like it's very young, but it's massive. So again, I'll spend hours and hours.
Yeah, I haven't just looked into that TikTok yet.
It's very young. It's very Vine, but again, it is something that's grown. So I'll get on it. I'll watch it, and another thing I'll do is I'll literally sit on social media sometimes, and I'll just
see what people are doing. Just watch, consume.
I'll literally click every button I can, and I'm just watching to see if there's any changes. Do you know what I mean? Another great one is, obviously everyone will know Stephen Bartlett, Manchester guy on Social Chain. But if you actually follow Social Chain, the business's Instagram, they post daily on the Instagram story of everything that's happening in social media. And for the most part, they have updates about algorithms and any new features that are coming and stuff like that.
That's sick. I wasn't aware they're posting that stuff.
I'll pretty much every day I'll check their Instagram story to see what they're posting about in terms of social media and all that stuff as well. So yeah, man. What do I want to plug? I don't really have anything that I plug, you know.
Your usernames at least, man. Let people know where they can find you on the Instagram.
If they want to find me, they will find me.
It's man like Gucci.
No, okay. DanielTKinder is the Instagram, Twitter, whatever.
Well, I'll have all the links in the description of whatever platform you guys are consuming this on. I'd like to say thank you, man, as well.
It's been good, you know.
It's
been good.
The first podcast that goes out, the second one I filmed. So apologies, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, you're listening on Spotify, Apple, you know, whatever you're listening and consuming this on. Apologies if there's been some teething issues, some tweaking.
It's the first one.
Yeah, like I'm still getting into this. If you can, guys, please give it a 5-star rating, give it a thumbs up, subscribe as well to the podcast or to the YouTube. It all helps, and that way then you can find out when these new episodes are coming out. Is there anything else you would like to sign out on, Dan?
Yeah, just go by Reese's motto and be professional and never get drunk around clients. And then
I was really hoping you're going to say something like, work hard, be humble.
No, as far as that is just be empathetic in the team you work with, in the content you put out, and yeah, just always try and play to everyone's strengths. No. Even if that means when you look at a strategy like, oh, in 6 months' time I could get sacked. Well, if that's the case, then you shouldn't be in the job. You know what I mean? But yeah, just everything you do, content, job, strategy, everything you do.
Sweet. Happy days.
Bigger.
Once again, guys, this has been the Explosive Podcast. Don't forget, guys, give it a 5-star rating.
All right as well, you know.
They're good, man, aren't they? They're nice. See, you want them now. You can have the rest of the crate if you want.
It isn't the one, like.
I'll turn you eventually. But yeah, guys, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget, subscribe to the podcast as well, guys, and give us a 5-star rating. Thank you all for listening, and I will speak to you next time. Peace out.